Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
So behind us is the scene of yesterday's terror attack in New York City that killed multiple people. Today, new details are emerging about the suspect who police say drove down a bike path in Lower Manhattan, aiming the truck at pedestrians and bicyclists. I'm Virginia Cha.
I'm Jason Martinez. 8 people were killed, 12 more injured, and now the NYPD and the FBI are asking for the public's help in this investigation. ABC's Stephanie Ramos reports from New York.
Hey, can you call 911? Oh my God.
New video released today shows frantic parents desperate to find their kids safe. Immediately after 29-year-old suspect Safilo Saipov drove his rented Home Depot truck into people in Lower Manhattan.
I'm sorry, I have to go get my child.
His path down New York City's West Side Highway ended here after he crashed directly into the school bus carrying children home on Halloween. The school district says 2 adults and 2 kids were injured after many had already lost their lives.
We got multiple casualties. This is a mass casualty situation here.
The FBI and NYPD urging the public to share any videos and images that could help in the investigation, like this image taken by a witness showing the suspect after he's been shot in the stomach by an officer. 8
innocent lives are taken by a criminal committing a cowardly act, driving a rental truck.
Authorities say Saipov is from Uzbekistan and came to the U.S. in 2010, living in various states, Ohio, Florida, and most recently in New Jersey with his wife and 3 kids.
He appears to have followed almost exactly to a T the instructions that ISIS has put out in its social media channels before, with instructions to their followers on how to carry out such an attack.
Investigators were able to talk to Safilo Saipov, who is out of surgery and expected to survive. But it's unclear what, if anything, investigators learned from him. But one official tells us Saipov seemed proud of his attack. Reporting in New York, Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
And happening now, we're learning the names and identities of even more of the victims. We have just learned that this mom of 2 was among those killed. This is Anne-Laurie Ducat. She's 31 and was visiting from Belgium. Now, 5 men killed in that attack, pictured right here, were in this group of 9 best friends. 8 of them in this picture. They were visiting from Argentina. Well, they have photographs right here, each of them fathers, friends that were visiting from Belgium for a 30th anniversary of their school graduation. Now, they'd rented bikes and were touring around the city when they were hit and killed. In the Live Center, Jason, Virginia.
All right, thank you very much. Happening now, beefed up security at Valhalla High School after officials found a message that the school would be, quote, shot up today.
Yeah, 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is there live now. So Mimi, classes are still going on as scheduled today, huh?
Right, Virginia, Jason, there are extra deputies here today, but just as a precaution, they don't believe that there's any credible threat here. A lot of parents here this morning were concerned, but others we spoke to say that they're very confident that everything here on campus is safe.
I think they're doing a fantastic job as an administration to, keep our kids safe and, notify parents and ease our minds so we can continue our day without interruptions.
So extra deputies and school resource officers are making sure everything is under control on campus as classes go on today. The concerning message was written on a piece of plastic used to cover the fence line along the softball field. It said the school would be shot up on November 1st, today. So deputies investigated, found no credible threat. But the extra security was called just as a precaution. Parents were notified of the potential threat via email Wednesday, but some had no idea until they got to campus this morning, prompting them to turn right back around and head home with their kids. Those students say they didn't want to take any chances.
We just kind of walked in, everyone was like, I'm not going to school, it's too, I don't feel safe. So we're like, oh, then if it's that serious, we're leaving.
Now, the Sheriff's Department is still investigating, trying to find out exactly who is behind this message. But coming up in the next half hour, we'll hear from a sheriff's captain who is personally connected to this high school and the decision he had to make this morning. Reporting live at Valhalla High, Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Thank you, Mimi. New today, people couldn't believe what they were seeing. An argument almost turned deadly in East County. Police say the woman you see here drove into her boyfriend and then slammed the SUV into a restaurant. Witnesses say the two were in a heated argument inside the SUV that was outside the Wendy's on Broadway in Spring Valley. They say the man got out of the SUV and started to walk away. Then they say the woman stepped on the gas.
They're arguing in the car and the guy's walking away, and she pulls a U-turn and goes full speed and hits the guy into the Wendy's. You can see him flip, like a 360 flip in the air.
Well, believe it or not, that man was not seriously hurt. Paramedics later found him hiding in the bushes nearby. He refused to go to the hospital. The woman ended up walking back to the scene where she was met by officers and arrested.
Now to a developing story right now regarding a house fire that happened this morning in Rolando. The man inside this home has died after being rushed to the hospital. 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie live at the scene now. And Mary, you've been talking with neighbors and investigators here. What do you know?
Just moments ago, Jason, I got off the phone with San Diego PD and they were able to confirm that the man who lived here alone died in this fire. The house is on Revio Way in Rolando, and it was about 6:30 this morning when neighbors woke up to what sounded like an explosion or a pop, and then they saw flames.
I could see the flames, and so I knocked on a couple of doors to let them know because these houses are so close together.
This video taken by one of those neighbors who lives across the street. He called 911. Firefighters got here within about 5 minutes, but it took them roughly 15 minutes to put out the fire. And neighbors saw them pull the man who lives here out of the house when they were performing CPR. We did see the ambulance leaving with him inside as we arrived, but of course we now know he has since passed away. They do say he lived alone here and that he was troubled.
It's been a real hard life for him. I don't know his medical background or what was going on, but he's created a lot of problems.
And neighbors sadly say that they are not entirely surprised that this happened. They say police have been here numerous times over the years to handle the man's erratic behavior. One woman tells me that she feared he had passed out inside the home and didn't even have a chance to make it out. We are live in Rolando this morning. Mary McKenzie, 10 News.
All right, thank you, Mary. Now to a crime alert in the College area. The search is on for two men accused of robbing a woman at gunpoint, then running over her with their getaway car. The woman says she was walking home on Baja Drive about 10:15 when the men jumped out of a car and approached her. She says they pulled a gun and demanded her cell phone. They grabbed her backpack and started to drive off. She then fought to get it back.
That probably was not the smartest idea, but I was so caught in the moment. Yeah, I jumped into the driver's seat window, and as soon they were freaking out and they pushed me out. And when they pushed me out, I fell to the ground and the car went over my body.
Yeah, the car ran over her hand and her leg, to be exact, but she's going to be okay. We don't have much of a description of those thieves. We are reaching out to police to find out more information.
Just in the city of Imperial Beach, calling for a federal investigation into one of the sewage spills that affected our beaches. IB wants the State Department to look into one of the first toxic spills that happened just over a year ago here. It sent plumes of sewage into our water, sickening local surfers, including IB's mayor. Now, city leaders say it looks like Mexico tried to cover this whole thing up, denying the spill when it first happened. They argue Baja's sewage agency is more concerned with covering up pollution than protecting people.
It's pretty unusual that the mayor of a city would get sick from a sewage spill. We're doing everything we can to build our relationship with Mexico, but if they're going to continually dumping sewage on us and making our council members and our community sick, it's hard to continue that positive, proactive approach.
So Imperial Beach has also filed an intent to sue the International Boundary and Water Commission.